I knew Megadeth was special when I really don't know that Megadeth is special. I think that we're a band and we like to play music. We're fans of the music that we play. I guess you really can tell when you get a chance to meet your fans. Like today, we just did an in-store, and there were fans from Pakistan. There were fans from China. People flew all the way here to Old Blighty from Venezuela, Argentina. And I mean, I know that London's kind of like the lily pad in the middle of the ocean for people to go from the east to the west and vice versa, but I love it here, and I think culturally it's such a unique melting pot of people. So I guess you find out that you're special when you start seeing the diversity that you have. A lot of people don't like what I say. I'm supposed to be this polarizing figure, but it's like, metal is punk rock with long hair. When did it become PC? If Megadeth didn't work out the way that it has, I would probably be a teacher, because I really love showing people things, educating them, enlightening them, and also learning. Teaching, sometimes you learn as you're teaching, because you'll get into a debate, and if you're open-minded, you'll learn stuff. I learned a long time ago when I was skydiving. Skydived a lot. I actually skydived over here too. And somebody had told me that a mind is like a parachute. It'll save your life if you can open it. Feeling anxious about new music, I guess, would indicate that you don't believe in your own music. And we were never in this for the money. I mean, look at me. I'm in a $25 flannel shirt. I'm not some spoiled rock star, and I think that if you make music that you're a fan of, that your fans are gonna obviously identify with you, and then you have that bond. You're not trying to force them to like something. Of course, we've had a lot of fair weather fans over the years, because certain records are popular and they're timely. They're also very timeless, though. And I don't know. I don't know if that answers your question or not, but it makes sense to me. The scariest thing that ever happened to us out on the road, we were in Atlanta, and we were riding in a taxi. This is back with the So Far So Good So What lineup, and we were on our way to a club to just go and play pool and drink and stuff. What you'd go to a club for. And we were in a taxi. And it was right next to that famous big Delta Airlines sign when you go through Atlanta. We went under a huge overpass. We came out the other side, and there was a black woman in the middle of the freeway going like this. She jumped out of the way, and there was a black man laying on the freeway, and the taxi rolled over him going 60 miles an hour and killed him. And I think the thing that was the most nauseating of all of it, I mean, even though a human life had just passed, was what the driver said, because he was a white guy down in the South, and he was obviously racist, because he said, I don't even want to repeat it, it was just so terrible what he said, but needless to say, it was really bad. And that was frightening for me, because when we did Castle Donington in 1988, 2 people were crushed to death. When we did Rock in Rio in 1992, 2 people died at that concert. People have died at a lot of concerts that we've been a part of, not necessarily while we were on stage, but you never, I don't know anybody that's ever picked up a guitar as a kid and did those air guitar shapes in a mirror and thought, well, I wonder how many people are going to die listening to my music. The most emotional I've ever been on stage, it depends. It depends if you're talking like back in the heroin days, if you're talking about the lineup with the junkies, if you're talking about the lineup with the cokeheads, if you're talking about the lineup with the drunks, if you're talking about the sober lineup, or if you're talking about now, because there's so many different things. I just recently had surgery on my neck. I had a spinal fusion because all the headbanging caused degenerative disc disease, and they had to take parts out of my neck and put a plate in there so that I could, walk. And leading up to that, there was a lot of medication that you take, and there's a huge epidemic in America with pain pills, and I think around the world actually. And when I was able to finally get the surgery done, they found a broken bone in my spinal column that had in the cord that had happened from a chiropractic adjustment. You guys call them osteopaths over here. And when the guy finally took that out, it was like taking a thorn out of a lion's paw. Everything was great. I was able to chuck the medication, and I feel really great right now. I think a lot of times, you know, when you get up on stage, if you're doing it for the wrong reasons, you're gonna take shortcuts. You're gonna cheat your fans. You're gonna be in it for the sex and the drugs and the money. And we're in it because, you know, we love playing music, and we love watching people's faces smile. Funniest thing is, like, when you're singing to them and you see them and they're going like singing back and forth, and then they look at you and you catch them looking at you and you're looking at them, and then time freezes. A lot of times I've done that, and I'll be singing along, blah, 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 and I'll stop because they catch me looking at them, and I'll forget where I'm at in the song. So I think that's a really cool thing too, if you have that kind of friendly relationship with your fans. My 15-year-old self would say, "Shit, you're still alive?"